morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Hungry Gwai with the Hungry Gwai himself. It's Leon, and today we are asking the big question, what's for afters? First thing we're going to do is we're going to get our leaf gelatin and put it in a nice cold bath. This is called blooming, and in about 5 or 6 minutes it's going to be blooming perfect into the kitchen. First thing we're going to do is get 150 milliliters of double cream. We're going to stick that into a pan. Add to that 30 grams of sugar. We don't want it to be too sweet. Add a generous glug of vanilla extract. Have some pride, don't use essence. Stir that together until it melts and then the cream comes to the boil. When that's done, we're going to turn off the heat, add our blooming lovely gelatin sheet. Stir that around until it is completely melted. Just like that, and then we are going to add in our 120 grams of Greek yogurt. Now don't do what I did and get the whisk out. It makes too many bubbles and it's a right schoolboy error. Use a wooden spoon or a spatula, do yourself a favour. Then we're going to pour it into our receptacle of choice. Mine's a skull one here, why not? Come on, live a little. That can go into the fridge now to set up, minimum of 3 to 4 hours. If you've got the time, stick it in overnight. Job's a good one. Now for the compote, we need 1 kiwi, half an apple, diced. Melt some butter in a pan. Then we're going to add in our fruit and 30 grams of caster sugar. You want to stir that around for about 10 minutes until the apple is tender and the kiwi is broken down like a classic car on a Sunday. Put it in a bowl and let it cool to room temperature. Now for the praline. First things first, we need to get our nuts out. Spread them on a baking tray and then we put them into a preheated oven for 8 to 10 minutes. When they come out, you want to put them somewhere to cool until they get to room temperature. And when you open that oven door, it is very difficult to describe exactly what your kitchen is going to smell like.
It's a bit nutty.
Sounds about right. 150 grams of caster sugar and a small amount of water on a medium heat. For goodness sake, don't stir it now, otherwise the internet will have a collective aneurysm. Wait until the sugar is melted and the liquid is boiling. Keep an eye on it for about 5 or 10 minutes and it will start to go a lovely golden nutty brown. It will turn very, very quickly, so when it is this sort of colour, it is imperative that you and throw your nuts in. Take it off the heat, stir it around so everything is coated, and then tip everything out onto a silicone sheet. Now, at this point, that caramel is ludicrously hot, so remember. So put it somewhere cool and forget about it for a couple of hours. So after 1 to 2 hours, your praline is at room temperature. Take it off the sheet, crack it into smaller shards. Keep half of it to one side for decoration a little bit later on, but the rest of it, sandwich it between 2 pieces of greaseproof paper, cover it in a towel, and knock 7 shades of good for the roses out of it. And there we have it, beautifully crushed praline to graciously adorn the top of our Panna Cotta. Well, I couldn't wait any longer. It's been about 4 hours and the Panna Cotta is out of the fridge. Our room temperature compote can now be generously spooned over the top, just like so. Then let's get some of that wonderful freshly crushed praline. There was such excellent stress release bashing them about, liberally sprinkled on the top. And then if we remember, we kept by some shards of praline. Let's get a nice one and poke it in the top. Why not? You only live once, eh? Let's have some fun. So there it is. Greek yogurt panna cotta with a kiwi and apple compote and an almond praline. Now, if you love it, if you hate it, let me know down there. Don't forget to do these things, and if you do make it, stick it on Instagram, @thehungryguy. I love to see other people enjoying their food. Well, that's it for now. There'll be lots of other recipes coming up in the future, but for now, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.